Hey, fourth grade. We're going to be going over our writing test that we took, so you can get out a highlighter and you can go ahead and grade your paper. You can mark the right answers with your highlighter, you can underline stuff, and you can just mark it wrong if you got it wrong, but then put the correct answer on there with your highlighter. Any changes you make to it won't affect your grade because it's being graded on the Scantron that you turned in, but it will help you understand why you missed it or why you got it correct. So we're going to go ahead and start. Okay, the first passage that we read was Cookie Season, and it was a paper that Samantha wrote about her favorite time of year. We're going to go ahead and look at the questions. I'm going to try and have the questions and the passage visible. So let's take a look. This first question says, Samantha wants to add a sentence to the end of her first paragraph. That's sentences 1 through 6. Which sentence could she add to clearly state the central idea of her paper? So remember, her first paragraph is going to include the topic and the main idea of the whole paper. So she wants to add a sentence that will kind of help state, and this is what we need to focus on. We're trying to state the central idea of her paper. So we would kind of have to know what the whole paper's about. All right, so we're going to read the first paragraph. Some kids look forward to summer vacation. Others can't wait for spring and the start of baseball season. My favorite time of year comes shortly after the winter holidays. One day I'll notice a girl sitting at a table in front of the grocery store. As I walk by, she will politely ask, "Would you like to buy some cookies?" At that point, I jump for joy. So we want to add a sentence at the end of this paragraph. So we're trying to add a sentence right here that's going to clearly state the central idea. So let's look at our choices. I jump higher than you can imagine. Is that going to clearly state what her whole paper is about? She is talking to me, and I know it's here. She knows it's here, but she's not telling us what it is, so that's not clearly stating her idea. Girl Scout cookie season has finally arrived. Does this state what she's going to be writing about? Is she writing about Girl Scout cookie season? Spring break and winter holidays are nothing compared with this. Well, here's another example of her looking forward to it, but it's not clearly stating what she's talking about. So the only one that clearly states that she's writing about Girl Scout cookie season is C. So C is the correct answer on this one. So you can mark it if you got it right, give yourself a big check mark. If you got it wrong, put an X by it and then mark the right answer with your highlighter. Okay, we're going to look at number 2. Samantha needs to add a transition word. Let's focus on that. We want a transition word or phrase to help her readers move from sentence 8 to sentence 9. So remember, transitions help connect ideas between two sentences. Which transition could best be added to the beginning of sentence 9? Well, we're going to have to read sentence 8 and 9. So let's go ahead and look at those. Sentence 8, here we are. In the early days, Girl Scouts sold only original sandwich, chocolate mint, and shortbread cookies. So this is talking about the early days when they first started selling cookies. Here's where we're trying to put the transition. There are many interesting flavors available, including lemon, peanut butter, and caramel. So this was in the early days, and I'm wondering, is this in current time? Now there's different flavors available. So let's see which would be the best transition to go there. All right. After all, there are many interesting flavors. So we're saying there were only 3, and then we're saying after all, there are many. There weren't many in the beginning. Today, there are many. So are we comparing the early days with nowadays? So would today work? At first, there are many. Well, it doesn't seem like that would work because this is talking about at first. This is talking about the early days, and this is talking about new flavors that have come. So that one couldn't be right. Then there are many interesting flavors. So in the early days, they only had these 3 cookies. Then there are many interesting flavors. I don't think so. I think the only one that makes sense is B, today, because we're comparing the early days of Girl Scout cookies to nowadays, all the different flavors that we have. Okay, so B is the correct answer on that one. Give yourself a big check if you got it right. Give yourself an X if you missed it. All right, let's look at number 3. Number 3 says, look at sentence 14. I'm going to go ahead and pay attention here. The phrase get better does not express what Samantha was trying to say. Which word could best replace get better and help Samantha improve the meaning of this sentence? So we're going to be putting these words in here to try and improve the meaning of that sentence. Let's see, we're looking at sentence 14. See if I can get it on the screen. Let's see, we're looking at this phrase, and we're going to be changing this phrase. Ordering and selling cookies helps girls mature in important ways. Okay, would you mature and become maybe more responsible and do things better if you were ordering and selling cookies? It helps, let's see, ordering and selling cookies helps girls improve in important ways. Ordering and selling cookies helps girls prepare in important ways. I don't think that makes any sense. It doesn't even make sense in the sentence. Ordering and selling cookies helps girls think in important ways. I don't really think that one makes sense either. So what do you think? Are they maturing by doing this? Are they showing that they're responsible and they're acting when you mature, it's like you're acting at a higher level. You're doing things not like a child anymore, but you're becoming more like an adult. Or is it just helping girls improve in important ways? I think this one, because it says which one best replace and improves the meaning, and I think mature makes it really clear. So I think A is the right answer for that one. So if you got it wrong, give yourself an X. If you got it right, give yourself a big check. All right, we're going to look at number 4. Samantha would like to add the following sentence to the third paragraph. So I've got to pay attention. The third paragraph is sentences 11 through 16. In fact, some of today's most successful businesswomen say they got their start by selling Girl Scout cookies. This is the sentence we want to add. Where is the best place to insert this sentence? So now we're having to think about where this sentence would make the most sense, where it would connect. We've got at the beginning of the paragraph, so that would be the first sentence. It would go before sentence 11. After sentence 13, or at the end, that means it would go after sentence 16. Let's read the whole paragraph. We're reading 11 through 16. So let's see what this paragraph's about and then see where that would go. The tasty cookies sell for about $3.50 a box. More than 200 million boxes are sold each year, which adds up to more than 700 million a year for the Girl Scouts. But leaders say that raising money isn't the only reason Girl Scouts sell cookies. Ordering and selling cookies helps girls get better in important ways. Each girl learns how to operate a small business, manage customers, and set financial goals. These skills can help them become self-assured and resourceful businesswomen in the future. Okay, so we want to know, does it go here? Does it go before? Does it go after? Or does it go after the whole paragraph, or does it go after sentence 13, which would put it right here? So let's see where it makes sense. Let's look at the sentence again. Let me see if I can get them both in the screen at the same time. And of course, we have the option that it's not supposed to be added to this paragraph at all, and we'll think about that as well. Okay. In fact, some of today's most successful businesswomen say they got their start by selling Girl Scout cookies. And then the next sentence goes on to talk about how much the tasty cookies sell for and how many boxes are sold each year. That's really not at all related to the women who've become businesswomen by doing that. There, I didn't have it in the screen, sorry. So that one isn't related. And the fact that there's a transition, in fact, it's really not connecting to anything since it's the first word in the sentence. So that one doesn't make sense. It wouldn't go at the beginning of the paragraph. Let's try it after sentence 13. But leaders say that raising money isn't the only reason Girl Scouts sell cookies. In fact, some of today's most successful businesswomen say they got their start by selling Girl Scout cookies. Ordering and selling cookies helps girls get better in important ways. Okay, so does this one make sense in between sentence 13 and 14? It's giving another reason that they sell cookies because they can become businesswomen, and then it goes on to tell how they improve by doing that. So that one seems to make a lot of sense. Let's try it at the end, though, just to make sure. These skills can help them become self-assured and resourceful businesswomen in the future. In fact, some of today's most successful businesswomen say they got their start by selling Girl Scout cookies. Wow, it really does seem to be connected to this sentence. I kind of thought it made sense here, but now that I'm looking at it, they're giving an example that these skills can help them become businesswomen. And then they're going on to say that, in fact, we're transitioning and saying, in fact, there's really successful businesswomen that got their start doing this. So I really think it makes the most sense at the end of the paragraph because it supports this idea and gives another detail about it. So that's a really good one. I'm glad I kept reading through the answers to make sure I got it right. So this one is C. It goes at the end of the paragraph. It definitely belongs in the paragraph, so we wouldn't even consider that one. And this one kind of tripped me up. I thought it was going to be that one, but then when I read this one, I thought it was really good. All right, so if you got that correct and you picked C, you're going to give yourself a check, and we're going to go on. Okay, what is the best way to combine sentences 19 and 20? Let's see. Her mother helped her sell cookies every day, rain or shine, throughout the cookie season for Jennifer. You know what? I should probably read sentences 19 through 20. Let me try that. Her mother helped her. Okay, I mean, that's a complete sentence. Her mother and helped. That's the subject and the predicate. Jennifer sold cookies every day, rain or shine, throughout the cookie season. That's a complete sentence too. We just want to combine those thoughts to make it a more complex sentence. So let's see which one is correct. Her mother helped her sell cookies every day, comma, rain or shine, throughout the cookie season for Jennifer. Does it make sense to put for Jennifer at the end? It's kind of confusing who is selling them and what Jennifer is doing. So that one doesn't seem to make sense. Before her mother helped her, Jennifer sold cookies every day, rain or shine, throughout the cookie season. This one makes it sound like she was doing all of this without her mother's help, and I don't think that's the point of this sentence. It's saying that she did it with her mother's help, so this one has a different meaning. Her mother helped her. Jennifer sold cookies every day, rain or shine, throughout the cookie season. That sounds good, except here I've got this comma, and it's connecting two complete sentences together. I can't connect two complete sentences with just a comma, so it can't be that one. With her mother's help, comma, Jennifer sold cookies every day, rain or shine, throughout the cookie season. Why is this comma here? Well, it's here because we've got the subordinating conjunction. This is not a complete thought. With her mother's help. It's a dependent clause, and it's depending on the rest of the sentence for it to make sense, and it does. So it's okay that that comma's there. So this is the right answer, D. Give yourself a check if you got it right. If you got it wrong, you can put an X. All right, let's look at question number 6. Samantha wants to add a conclusion. So now we're thinking of wrapping up the whole paper with a conclusion. Which of the following could best follow sentence 26 and close this paper? All right, so we're going to try and wrap up the whole paper. We need a concluding paragraph. And we're going to look at the very end here. Let's see if I can get it up on the screen. Okay. So it ends with, that's why I love Girl Scout cookies. Okay. So we want a sentence to follow that one that better wraps up the paper. They don't just taste good, they also do good things for girls. Okay, that makes sense. What were some of the good things that they do for girls? Well, they help them become better businesswomen. They help them mature. I mean, that one makes a lot of sense. They're so tasty. Is that really wrapping up all of the information they shared in this paper about all the things that the girls learned from selling the cookies? I don't think so. That one's just really simple. And I'm so proud of Jennifer Sharp. She's amazing. Number one, we would never put a sentence in there that started with and, so that one can't be right. And that's really only talking about this one girl rather than the whole process of selling the cookies. Let's go buy them. That makes it sound like she's only concerned about selling you cookies or getting you to buy cookies. And that's really not the point of the article. I think the point of the article is for us to really understand that there's more to it than just selling them and eating yummy cookies. It's really helping girls become responsible. So I think the best concluding sentence is A. If you got that one right, give yourself a check. If you got it wrong, put a little X.